Hello and welcome to a new video. Today I am trying out an exciting new item. Ohuhu have started making some new paper and I'm trying out their marker pad today. It is supposedly completely bleed proof, meaning it doesn't bleed through to the other side. So I'm very excited to try that out today. They were kind enough to send me over this beautiful looking pad here. There are two pads. You can get the spiral bound that works like an actual sketchbook, or you can get this one where the pages tear out. So for this video I decided to start off by just doing like a little experiment. As you can see here, I'm just using a random colour and seeing how bleed proof this paper actually is. So I start by just doing a couple layers. So you can see here I've done 1, 2 and 3 and it's honestly amazing. It doesn't show through at all. Obviously it shows through when I hold it up to the light, but I don't know how. It just doesn't bleed through. Which is crazy. I've never come across a paper that does that. There's always been some sort of bleed through. That's amazing and I'm kind of in love with this paper. Yeah, for today I decided to just do a couple sketches on here. I don't fill up the whole page because I initially planned on sticking this into my book. I realised a bit too late that it is actually just a little bit too wide to fit into my book, but that's fine. I might still stick it in anyway. So I'm starting off by drawing Mudkip from Pokemon because if you've been following me on my Instagram stories, you'll know that I have been drawing some Pokemon recently, and yeah, Mudkip was really fun to draw for that, so I decided why not torture myself more and draw more Pokemon. I drew over 90 Pokemon for that video, which still isn't out yet because it's taking a very long time to edit. But yeah, so he was adorable, so I decided to draw him again here. And yeah, he turned out great. I messed up a couple times colouring him in, so he's got a blue stripe on his mouth, but he didn't bleed through at all, which was incredible. Here you can see an old character of mine I decided to do a redraw of, and then I noticed that my pen had smudged. This is just like a basic roller ink pen, and I don't know, even after letting it dry for hours, it's still smudged. So I think it must be to do with however they have the paper so that it doesn't bleed through. Maybe specific inks just sit on top, so I'm not sure, it's confusing. The line art that I used, or the pens I used to line Mudkip, are the Ohuhu branded Fineliners, and they didn't smudge, which is a good thing. So yeah, I guess they soaked into the paper enough not to smudge. Basically, I just recommend with those kinds of things doing a test. Unlike me, doing a test so you can see if it's going to work or not, because I noticed that the paper texture when actually colouring on it is a bit odd. It does seem like the ink from the pen sits on top, which is fine, it works great. That's not what I'm saying, I'm just saying it's different to what I'm used to. My only complaint is a very small one, but you can probably see it on the face here of this character that I'm drawing right here, that the paper keeps some weird texture. And again, I think that must be to do with how it holds the ink, because it doesn't bleed through, and when layering loads of ink on top of each other, it does feel kind of glossy, so I'm like, I don't know how it's working. But the face keeps texture. Here I am drawing this character that I showed earlier. She is just a random made up, I don't even know what she is, but I designed her for when I was doing my Patreon monthly art things, and I decided to bring her back because outside of my Patreons no one's ever seen her before, so I was like, why not bring her into the light? And yeah, I was really happy with how it turned out. The colours came out really nice. They looked exactly the same on this paper as they did on the swatch sheets, which is always a bonus. I kind of got lazy when it came to shading her, and I just did a sort of like gradient at the bottom because I just couldn't be bothered for whatever reason. but I do actually really like how it turned out. And then I'm doing my new technique when it comes to line art of coloured line art first. So all of her skin and stuff is with the red. Then I usually change between blue and purple, but either the hair is purple and then the clothes are blue, or vice versa. And then I like to go in and just pick out certain pieces that I think need black line art, just to create clear barriers or definition between certain shapes. And I just really like how this style looks when it comes to line art, so that's what I've done here. And then just going in and adding some extra colours, and I, for whatever reason, decided to line the shadow with one of the blue pens, and I end up really liking it, so that's something I'll probably hold on to and do more of in the future. I decided to draw another Pokemon because why not? And I did an Oddish because I also like how he turned out in my video that isn't out yet, which should be coming out soon, but it is taking a very long time to edit. It's I think it's about, what was it, 12 hours or 16 hours that I have to cut down to 30 minutes, and I have no idea how I'm going to do that. So maybe I will do 2 videos, but I don't know if you guys will be interested in that, so let me know. I'll probably just end up doing 1 video, but here's basically a sneak peek at 2 of the Pokemon that I do, and I am in love with how Oddish turned out. For some reason I decided to go in and add a purple at the end for like his cheeks and the stars, and I really like the effect of it. It was really cute. So at this point I was like, I just want to fill the page with whatever I feel like. So I decided to do a rainbow, and it turned out really cute. Obviously you can probably tell that some of the colours look different. There have been time skips between colouring sections, as is the way alcohol markers are wet, so they go on the paper looking a bit darker and gross, and then they dry to the colour they're supposed to be, so that's why the clouds looked a bit weird, and now suddenly they're like this nice saturated light pink cream thing. These colours looked really nice, so I was really happy with how this turned out. So to further like show off that the other side of the page didn't get any bleed through, and also to test like how much I can push this paper, I decided to also do some drawings and colouring on the other side. And I started off with my avocado plant that I've been growing, that I am so proud of. They're so pretty. I might even throw up a picture, who knows, but I'm a proud plant mum. Yeah, I decided to do my plant, and I am so impressed. I don't show it in the video, but while I'm colouring this, I keep checking to see if it is doing anything to the other side of the page, because I was concerned. I was like, even if it doesn't bleed through, what if like the wetness of the pens alter or distort whatever is on the other side? And they don't. Like, I don't know what they've done, what this paper is, like what is this paper? But it doesn't affect the other side at all. Like, I think the paper is slightly warped. That might just be because I'm leaning on it, and, you know, I won't lie, kind of gross. I have sweaty hands, so, you know, that warps paper. So I don't know if it's that, or if it is just because the paper is wet. So the paper is a little warped, but, you know, I've kept it in a book for a while now, and it has, like, flattened out again, so I honestly don't know. I'm trying to find faults or whatever, and there are none. And except for that ink pen maybe, but it's just, I love this paper. It's crazy. Anyway, so on my plant here, I'm just doing the same thing. I was colouring it. I wasn't liking how the colours looked initially, and then somehow I think the line art brought it together for me. I'm really happy with how this turned out. And I kind of did the same thing of like using red on the plant, and then the other sections are different colours. Because the roller pen wasn't drying, I decided to cover it with tape, because I was like, if this is never going to dry, I don't want this smudging everywhere, wherever I end up putting it. So yeah, I covered it with tape, and that seems to have done the trick. So I wanted to fill more of the other side of the page because it, it was looking kind of blank, and I wanted it to be a bit more finished. So I went to Instagram and I asked you guys what you wanted to see, and almost immediately one of you suggested something that I was like, you know what, I am in the mood for that. Kinda like art suggested I draw Hal, and for some reason I was like, that is the vibes I want. I want to draw Hal. So I went on Pinterest and I found some pictures of him, and I will put up one on the screen that for some reason just triggered this image of him, sitting really nicely, like leaning on his hand with his hair or doing whatever, like looking really nicely at someone. It's probably Sophie. And I was really excited to draw it because I really love Hal's aesthetics. So I went with blonde Hal because he is, the first Hal. Should I have gone with dark haired Hal? I think for how this piece ends up looking, I'm really glad I went with blonde haired Hal because, the colours just look really nice, and the colour I chose for his hair is actually really, really nice. I think I'm going to use that again in the future just because it is such a soft yellow. But maybe I could do another one of dark haired Hal because I also like him too. Honestly, I also like red haired Hal, and I'm kind of sad he didn't get more screen time. But anyway, yeah, I'm just doing simple shading and colouring here because I wanted to do something for him, but I didn't want to do too much effort, so I did it really simple. Yeah, so I decided for this video to let it be a bit more chill and relaxed, which is why I don't think I could say these are like finished pieces necessarily, or at least finished to the standard I usually hold. But I did think it was fun. It was a nice break to just do simple doodles that are, well, I guess they are kind of finished, aren't they? But anyway, yeah, so I hope you don't mind this video. I wanted it to be a bit more chilled, and hopefully you're enjoying it. So I will just let you finish watching that. I didn't realise that I'd put my hand in the wet ink, and I was a little annoyed I smudged it, but that happens sometimes, especially when you don't let things dry like me. Anyway, so for the last thing on this page, my brother suggested I redraw my old profile picture, and I thought that would be a fun idea. I thought I'd done a redraw of it not that long ago, but I couldn't for the life of me find it anywhere, so I based it on a older picture that I will put up on the screen now, and it was interesting. I tried to get the same vibrancy of the colours that the other one had, but the other one was using paint markers, so it was very different, and I think I kind of made it look like vomit just a little bit. Those colours at the bottom don't go together the same way they do on the original one. And it was, I think the line art does bring it together a bit better, but it does still look kind of random. And I think it's because with how alcohol markers work, you have to like anticipate colours before putting the final things down. And yeah, that's what I tried to do, but I think I kind of got them wrong. And I think I should have gone for paler colours and had a more pastel look. I did the blue lining the shadow thing again, and ultimately I do kind of like how it looks. It's not going to be a new profile picture. I actually just changed my profile picture to the ghoul from Fallout, so who knows, it will probably change again soon because I'm very fickle when it comes to stuff like that. But anyway, that is it for this video. This is a very short one. I am sorry about that, but like I said, I wanted it to be more chill. and ultimately I'm happy with how it all turned out. This paper is incredible. I don't know how they've done it, but I'm happy they have. And I'm gonna have to try and find somewhere I can put it where I can look at both sides. But yeah, I hope you liked this video. It did actually come with this that I forgot to show. I will show you now. It basically just explains a little bit about the paper and the book itself. But yeah, this is quite big paper. It is slightly bigger than A4. Hang on, let me get an A4 page. Right, so this is printer paper, A4, and you can see how it's got some margins on the side. It's just slightly bigger, which is quite handy. It means you can do big pieces on it. And yeah, I think this paper is incredible. A bit annoyed about this whole thing, but I guess that's the only downside, so I can't really complain about that. Yeah, so that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I don't know which side to leave it on. Probably the other side. The other side, yeah, is more full. Thank you, Ohuhu, for letting me try out this paper. It's up on their website. I think it came out on the 22nd of April, I think. So yeah, it is available now. I want to thank you guys who watched this video, and I want to say a huge thank you to my Patreons: Dispe, Megan Palmer, Grimclow, Non-Toxic, Saint Nick's, LP, Kira May, Kay, Annabelle, Joanna, Sir Studalot, Mila, Pretty Rotten, Crescent Frog, Joanna Snake Moon, Humble Frogs, Midnight's Bloom, Local Fishkeeper, Mold Ghoul, and Black Sheep. Thank you guys so much for your support, and I should have a video out soon. I'm working on two that are taking a little while. That's the Pokemon one, and then another mysterious one that is Fallout related. No surprise. I can't say when they'll be out because they are taking a very long time to make and edit, but hopefully it will be out soon. So yeah, my scheduling for videos might die down a bit, by which I mean the frequency in which I post, because I'm lucky that I've managed to have back-to-back videos recently, although they have kind of changed to every 2 weeks, maybe worse. But basically it might die down a bit, the frequency with which I post, but I am still planning to post, so don't think that I'm like going anywhere. Anyway, yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.